It's your boy Mike, welcome back to another Dokkan battle video. We have the new manga cards that we're going to go ahead and talk about today, and I'm going to be honest, they look pretty decent. They're very unique, and something I just haven't seen for these cards in a long time. But let's go ahead and hop into it. So they talk about the login bonuses being the manga wallpaper, as well as the Goku being free to play. And if we go ahead and go a little further, I believe it talks about, yeah. So you can collect special treasures that are all of the different manga, and then once you collect all of the 42 manga volumes, you can unlock and attempt an event to get another special wallpaper, which I think is awesome. You know, like it's always nice for sure. And then sticker cards too. Uh, dude, I like the Goku smiling one. It's such a silly one, dude. But there's like sticker cards of all of them. I think that's pretty awesome, considering that all of the power levels of all of them are pretty insane. So if you're someone who likes getting, you know, the or collecting the pages for that, that's always a nice thing to have for sure. Now they're going to show us the kits of all the characters. Actually no, they're showing us the animations first. I'm just going to skip past it because I'd rather talk about the kits rather than the animations. The animations are just like the manga, like pages and all that. So Goku, who is the free-to-play unit, is a low-class warrior, full power, Kamehameha, Turtle School, accelerated battle, Saiyan Saga, Earth-bred fighters, Earth-protecting heroes, pure Saiyans, Goku's family, all-out struggle, bond of friendship, battle of fate, bond of parent and child, and a power of wishes. Is all of his categories. He gets 30% attack and defense for 1 turn and causes supreme damage to enemy. Not a bad thing to have for like just a free to play, you know. It definitely is that's nice. Then we have here activates the entrance animation upon the character's entry turn. All allies get 40% attack and defense for 40 turns. Now it's funny because this just feels like don't run him in battle of or festival of battles, because the restriction is just like it's not permanent, but it's semi-permanent in a sense. Key 2 and launches an additional attack that's a 70% chance to become a super attack as his basic effects. When there is a World Tournament category ally, Saiyan Saga, Planet Namek Saga, Android Saga, Cell Saga, Majin Buu Saga ally, that you get an additional 200% attack and defense and an additional 10% dodge chance. Now, considering that he also gets a 30% dodge chance if there is an extreme class ally attacking in the same turn, it definitely can be very nice, I suppose. If you just get a couple of these and then maybe you get like just 2 allies, right? If you get also note that it says another Saiyan Saga, so you can't just have like Goku by himself and it'll activate it. Like it has to be another person. But I was gonna say that considering that it's a lot of these categories all have like units that are pretty decent, I don't think it'll be too like bad of a restriction in a sense. Majin Buu Saga has like Tech Vegito, you know. Android Cell Saga I guess has like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. The like all of technically all of these are the new cards that just came out, you know, like all of these are the manga cards that just came out as well, so all of these have new additions on top of that too. But yeah, overall I think it's fine. For every attack performed, you also get an 19% attack and defense permanently, and that's the thing I wanted to talk about, right? Is how impactful is that going to be? If we go ahead and just hop off for a second real quick and we go over to Yamu and Spopovich, we could actually see that they have the same exact thing that a lot of these newer units have, which is that for every super attack performed or every single attack performed, they get a permanent increase in their damage, right? And that's the thing is, from what I recall, when these units came out, I don't think that they had like the most insane damage, you know? To be fair though, it's kind of hard to have like a fast stacking thing when all they have is 90% attack and defense, right? So offensively, all they're going to be getting is 20% attack here, and then just get like nothing on super attack effects. While this one, oh, you guys see, while Goku gets a whole bunch of attack and defense all over his kit, he gets the attack and defense permanently on his for performing super attacks, and then on top of that, he also gets it on, like, he gets like a 30% attack and defense increase on his super attack effects as well. So again, I'm curious to see how good he's going to be, because technically he can start off with 1000% attack and defense, and then 40% attack and defense support. And because it says for 40 turns, I'm pretty sure that's just a permanent buff. Because when other characters are like, oh, it's a thing for 4 turns, it activates on turns that unit isn't on as well. So, but anyways, this is another interesting thing. So the leader skill is 2 key and 150% attack and defense and 150% HP and 100% attack and defense. When the team includes all superclass and extreme class, when team includes superclass and extreme classes plus an additional 1 key and 70% attack and defense, when team includes all 5. Okay, so I believe what it means is that, like, if you have both a superclass and an extreme class ally, you get the top leader skill, and then if it includes the all 5 types in that, you get an additional 1 key and 70% to all stats. So in total, you get 220% HP and 170% attack and defense. The HP is really nice. I would have probably preferred if it was 200% HP and then it was like 190% attack and defense, but again, it's not like the worst thing in the world. The HP is definitely a nice thing to have, though, for sure. Okay, so Piccolo is World Tournament Giant Form, Namekians, Terrifying Conquerors, Target Goku, Revenge, Gifted Warriors, Entrusted Will, Worldwide Chaos, Battle of Fate, Earthbed Fighters, Demonic Power, Tournament Participants, and Successors. His super attack raises defense for 3 turns and causes supreme damage to enemy. Activates the entrance animation when there is a World Tournament category ally or enemy. Wait, no, sorry. World Tournament category enemy or another World Tournament category ally on the team at the start of the character's attacking turn, or when there is a Goku enemy or on the team. Dude, what the hell? Or when Goku is an enemy or on the team at the start of the character's attacking turn. So I think it's like you have to have a World Tournament category ally or enemy, or you have to have a Goku on the team or on the on as your enemy as well. They both have to have it where it's on the actual attacking turn as well. But he gets 150% attack and defense permanently. He then gets 40% damage reduction, and all of his allies get an additional 40% attack and defense for 40 turns. So if you run this guy with the free-to-play Goku, that's 80% attack and defense for 40 turns. His basic effects are 2 key and 200% attack and defense, as well as an additional 20% damage reduction rate. Meaning that if you get the entrance animation, that's 60% damage reduction. Pretty good. When there is an ally whose name includes Goku, you launch an additional super attack, guaranteed. Does that say attacking in the same turn? No. It's just when there's an enemy or ally whose name is Goku. That's pretty good. When receiving an attack, you get an additional 150% attack and defense. Nice for multiplicative buffs for sure. When facing only one enemy, you also gain attack effect against all types. Kind of reminds me a lot of the Interworld Tournament in Junior. For every attack received, you also get an additional 16% attack and defense permanently. Again, considering that this guy has a lot of multiplicative stuff everywhere, I wonder how that's going to be. The other thing that I'm kind of worried about is Heroes units have really good passives on paper, but then you look at their stats and it's just the absolute worst thing in mankind because of the fact that they know that you're going to rainbow them, so they give them free-to-play stats. Oh, I gotta sneeze again. I think we're good. Nope. So I'm wondering if it's gonna be the same way, you know? Will these characters have free-to-play stats too? I think so, because they don't even do immense damage. They just do supreme. So I wouldn't be surprised if like this is like the manga banner, you know? Next we have Vegeta. Oops. Who's a pure Saiyan Dragon Ball Seekers? Well, excuse me. If the next time I see this, I'll probably just pause. There, I'm gonna pause real quick. Alright, I'm sorry about that. Anyways, so he is a pure Saiyan, Dragon Ball Seekers, Vegeta's family of terrifying conquerors and human deeds, space traveling warriors, gifted warriors, planetary destruction, accelerated battle of Face Saiyan Saga, and successor. His super attack effects give him a greatly raising defense for 1 turn and greatly lowering the enemy's attack. Activates the animation when there is a World Tournament or Saiyan Saga category enemy or World Tournament or Saiyan Saga category ally self-excluded at the start of the character's entry turn. You get 150% attack and defense. You also get an additional chance of performing a critical hit by 40%. And all allies gain 40% attack and defense for 40 turns. You get 2 key and 200% attack and defense as your basic effects. A medium chance of performing a critical hit and launches an additional super attack guaranteed. That's actually a really nice thing to have though, the additional super attack guaranteed. When there is an enemy or ally whose name includes Goku, again, not even attacking in the same turn, just has to be on the team, it seems, you just guard, and when attacking with 12 or more key, you get 100% attack and defense. When receiving a super attack, you gain 40% attack and defense for 1 time only. So that means you'll have the guard and the 40% damage reduction. And then you get an increase of 100% attack and defense permanently for every single super attack you receive. And then anytime your guard is activated, you also get an additional 19% attack and defense permanently as well. That's the other thing too, is that how much is the Broly's? 30%. Interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if the TUR stats are gonna make it where it feels like the same buff that Broly gets, you know? So it's not gonna be like, oh my god, I just doubled my stats from getting a super attack, but I think it's gonna be like, oh wow, I just saw like a 10 to 20% increase in my overall stats because I got hit by a super, which is nice. It's nice for sure. And whenever guard is activated, counts for dodges too, so if you really want to, you could just go full dodge. Next we have the Frieza, who is a Planetamic Saga transformation boost, wicked bloodline, terrifying conquerors and human deeds, space traveling warriors, gifted warriors, planetary destruction, sworn enemies, accelerated battle, and successors unit. His super attack, Death Beam, greatly raises attack for 1 turn and causes supreme damage to enemy while also sealing the enemy's super attack. He activates and enters animation when there is a Saiyan Saga or Planetamic Saga category enemy or a Saiyan Saga or Planetamic Saga category ally at the start of the character's attacking turn. Dude, like half of these passives all hinge on you running that Goku. You get 150% attack and defense, as well as a 40% dodge chance, and all allies get 40% attack and defense for 40 turns. His basic effects are 2 key and 20% attack and defense. He has a medium chance of evading enemies' attack, which if you aren't already counting, that's 70% chance just from having his entrance animation alone. When there's an ally whose name includes Goku or an enemy, you also gain an additional 10% dodge chance, as well as an additional 10% damage reduction, which is 80% dodge chance. Again, pretty good. Before receiving an attack within the turn, you gain 40% damage reduction and you perform a critical hit. After evading an attack, you launch 2 additional super attacks, and you get 100% attack and defense permanently. And then for every single attack received, you get 26% attack and defense permanently. Now this is actually really good because, again, it's just another character who scales based off of something. Like, he has multiple multiplicative stuff in his passive, right? And if we check someone else who like has something similar to it, Goku. Why is it not showing his EZA stuff? Here we go. This was insane at the time, and even then it caps out at 150, and now this is just something that doesn't cap. It doesn't cap out now, you know. Like, Goku's defense at the time was actually really good once you were fully built up, and then on top of that, once you had the entrance animation, or not the entrance, the ally or yourselves revive, like, it's got really pretty fucking good, you know, like defensively. Now we have a character who has an 80% dodge chance, and on top of the like 5% that you just get from hidden potential as well, and he gets 26% attack and defense permanently. So not bad. Greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes supreme damage to enemy. Should I even read the categories? I'll leave them on the screen for a second, but I feel like the main ones are just going to be you just be running this guy in like Tech Vegeta's team, right? Activates the entrance animation when there's a Planet Namek Saga or Android/Cell Saga category enemy, or Planet/Namek Saga or Android/Cell Saga. The Planet Namek Saga or Android/Cell Saga category ally at the start of the character's attacking turn. 150% attack and defense changes AGO key spheres to tech and all allies 40% attack and defense for 40 turns. His basic effects are key +2 and 200% attack and defense. He has a high chance of performing a critical hit when there's an ally whose name is Goku. He also changes STR key spheres to tech. For every single key sphere you gain, you get 10% attack and defense. Once you gain 5 or more key spheres, you get 20% damage reduction, and you launch an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack. If you get 8 or more key spheres, you get 30% additional damage reduction, and you launch an additional super attack guaranteed. For every single super attack you performed, you get 35% attack and defense. I'm not gonna lie, this guy, I don't think he's gonna be too well. Gohan so far from all these kits doesn't look the best, because a lot of these other characters have like dodge and damage reduction, or damage reduction that is like so insane, or like 60%, or not insane, but like a lot more, right? And this guy's just kind of like a nuker who can only max out at 50% damage reduction, and his like super attacks aren't even guaranteed. The only one that he has guaranteed is after 8 key spheres, which is it's not gonna be too easy to get. So yeah. Next we have Majin Buu, who is a 30% attack and defense for 1 turn, and then it has a high chance of stunning all enemies, and he hits all enemies with his super attack as well. You know, fine, whatever, I'll just read them. Resurrected Warriors, Majin Buu Saga, Full Power, Transformation Boost, Time Travelers, Artificial Life Forms, Exploding Rage, Human Deeds, Majin Power, Power Absorption, Gifted Warrior Sword Figures, Legendary Existence, Sworn Enemies, Worldwide Chaos, Demonic Power, Uncontrollable Power, and Mission Execution. He activates the entrance animation when there is an Android/Cell Saga or Majin Buu Saga category ally or enemy. He gets 150% attack and defense. He launches an additional super attack for 40 turns, and also gives 40% attack and defense for 40 turns as well. He gets 2 key and 200% attack and defense. He has a 50% chance of evading enemies' attacks. He recovers HPs with sweet treats. When there's an ally whose name is Goku, or an enemy, he has a 50% chance of performing a critical hit. He also has a 40% damage reduction. This is exactly what I was talking about, by the way, with the Gohan. This guy has already 10% less damage reduction, but a 50% chance of dodging anything. But he has a 50% chance of performing a critical hit and a 40% damage reduction rate. If you're attacking with 12 or more key, you get 100% attack and defense. A great chance of getting an additional 150% attack, and a high chance of getting an additional 150% attack. For every single attack received or evaded, you get 39% defense as well. Not bad though, for sure. I know Minato was saying that it would be nice to get the what's it called? It would be nice to take this guy into World Tournament, so I'm also kind of curious to see that. Next, we could see here that it says, don't miss out on the super attack animations of the 40th anniversary characters. Exchange 24 of the 40th anniversary special coins for a character. If you use 30 dragon stones to perform a multi-summon, well, it just says you can use 30 dragon stones to perform a multi-summon. So again, it's the reason why that I'm kind of scared of these units, because like at the end of the day, this is going to be, I feel like it's going to be free to play stats for these characters. They want you to rainbow them. Oh yeah, and they're also talking about the fact that you can get the cards for free. So a lot of, dude, like I kind of want to get one of these. It'd be fun to like open up on the channel and talk about like all the cards that we get on it. Yeah, and then if you use the promotional code manga that we saw was leaked a couple days ago, you got stuff. And then it says that the campaign will start on the 30th for Dokkan and the 29th for Legends. But that is all the time we're going to spend on this one. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about the units. Hope you guys have a great week. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.